All the jokes.
The time.
Non-stop.
Coming at you live on YouTube, pre-recorded for your convenience.
For your convenience to watch whenever you want to watch it, because it's not live, so you don't have to be here at a specific time to watch it.
It's the benefit of YouTube over any other platform, like at live streaming. Even though we live stream on YouTube, but even when we live stream on YouTube, you can still watch it later.
Yes, because we save the videos for you to watch.
And you can consume,
even though it
in
doesn't...
small chunks over the course of several weeks, much like I do. That's how I consume content these days.
Yeah, unless it's a really short video. But I thought that, granted, I'm not on Twitch, so I can't for sure give this definitive answer. But I thought that Twitch does have saved recording content for creators, so that you could go back and watch their streams. Is that not the case?
I know a lot of creators also put stuff their live streams on YouTube for that very reason. So.
Well, yeah.
So I think you can save clips and stuff, but I don't think you have a whole library of, hey, here's everything I did for 8 hours straight saved.
Okay.
It's just, It's also just generally not the culture of Twitch. It's jump in and chat ferociously, viciously, or it's the
ferociously.
It's the like self-fulfilling prophecy. Like while someone's streaming, they're also watching like 4 other streams, and those same 4 people are watching 4 other streams. And so it's the only people on Twitch are other Twitch streamers watching other Twitch streams while they stream.
So is it just a long-running bit of the idea of someone reacting to someone reacting to someone reacting?
Yes, it's just a loop. It's an infinite loop. It's turtles
a
all the way
scheme.
down. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's like a Ponzi scheme, except no one really benefits from it unless you count you getting some type of content.
The people who got their subscribers in early, the ones who benefit because of the subscribers that come in later. The subscribers who come in later pay out the first subscribers.
Okay.
And that, kids, is how the economy works. That's why Gen Z is screwed.
I feel like any generation right now at this moment is screwed.
Any generation coming out after the baby boomers is, I mean, you have a massive influx of people followed by not a massive influx of people. And systems that are built on that. It's actually interesting, completely boring. It's Social Security stuff, but they did plan for this. And so Social Security is built in a way that it will account for the fact that there's a lot of baby boomers and not as many Gen X and millennials and, people after the fact. Because if it was just the next generation pays for the older generation, that doesn't work because there's more of the older generation.
So basically what you're saying is by the time anyone at this moment is set to retire, there will not be Social Security for them to retire on because...
No, what I'm saying is that's what people use to fearmonger, but the reality is that Social Security is set up in a way to make that work. They planned for that because they're smart.
Right. Now here's something that I wonder, because I'm not old enough clearly to have Social Security, even though I do claim I'm 87, but you have to be like 190 to be able to claim Social Security.
Yes.
Yeah. But,
come to the Super Monkey
Social
Fighters
Security?
for facts.
Yeah. Isn't Social Security kind of designed around people who work the 9-to-5 type jobs, like the jobs that you're feeding into? So if you are
anybody
a gig
who pays
worker,
taxes, everybody who pays taxes pays into it. Self-employment taxes go into that. That's what those are.
Okay. Because I did wonder, because it's being a self-employed individual. I look at my taxes, but I don't really look at my taxes. So I just know that when you work basically a corporate job, whether it's a retail or whatever, you have it broken out saying you paid this much for healthcare tax or whatever, or Social Security or federal or state or things like that.
Yeah.
So I just wondered if basically the way that the world is kind of built now with the self-employed or the gig workers or things like that.
It's the fun bit of self-employment tax is you actually pay both sides of it. as being self-employed, whereas if you're an employee, your employer pays half of those taxes. Which is really what it is when you're self-employed as well. Your employer pays half the taxes. It's just you are your employer. So.
Okay.
Also, great way to start out this whole episode of Mainline. We were going to be funny and like high action, high energy. Social Security and taxes. That's all we are.
Well,
We are
I
a
mean,
channel of facts.
We do have a tax collector, so could be relevant to the
I
game.
mean, it does fit the game a little bit, but most likely that will have been edited in a way that's like super exciting, like fast zooms and quick cuts and montage. Maybe a cool
Basically,
music
it'll
number.
either zoom in on us or it'll zoom in on Nugget harvesting his plants.
Just be one long, slow zoom over like 5 minutes into Nugget's face.
Or it'll be longer than 5 minutes because we slow it down.
Could be. It gets slower as it goes, so it starts out
Yeah.
at 100% and then it ends at like 10% speed.
So what you really think is 5 minutes is in reality going to be a half hour of just that?
And this is the way we fix our content.
Because it is broken,
It
apparently.
is broken, apparently. We don't know how. I always figured it wasn't broke. I mean, we've talked about like taxes for collecting roads back in Far Cry 5 and like Bureau of Land Management stuff and all of that. Now we're here. Like, this is the staple. This is the cornerstone of the Super Monkey Fighters.
Wow, that's such a full circle.
Yeah.
Even though this episode will not be airing around the same time, but it would have been almost 2 years since we recorded
Close.
the Far Cry episodes of us,
Us talking
you know,
about
talking about land management, and now we're talking about taxes
Yep.
and Social Security. 2 years full circle. We've reached our pinnacle. We have to give up now.
it's complete. We got to delete the channel. And I know some of you would probably be happy for that.
Probably. I'll still say this. Loki, your mic's kind of low still.
I'm sorry. Is this better?
No, it got better because you got louder,
Here,
but
how
not
about
better
this? Is
because
that
you're
better?
sucking on the mic.
I wasn't sucking on the mic. I was beard hairs away from the mic. Several of them. At least 4 of them were touching.
At least 4.
Here, is this better?
No.
How about this?
Slightly better.
Well, considering that I'm looking at my levels and they're in the same range,
I know.
think the recording is good.
Yeah,
you could
I
right
checked.
click on my picture in Discord. Slightly increase the volume on me.
I
You
did
couldn't-
that before we started.
Yes.
I know. Loki's 200% for me in Discord, so I
How
don't
am
know.
I 200% and you still can't hear me?
I have no idea.
200%. My input
Jeez.
volume in Discord is maxed out.
Yeah, I don't know. Checking.
I can do my microphone privacy settings. Do.
This is kind of what happens when we don't record for a little bit. Like settings break or change or reset or whatever.
It's also when you update to a different operating system in between.
Yes. Because he wanted
Totally
to do
by
that,
choice.
right?
Totally by choice. How's this?
That's how-
Is that better?
Oh my god.
You're louder, but you're distorted.
I'm distorted.
Yeah, it was not pretty.
It was the Windows system volume for my microphone. For whatever reason, by default is set to like 57 for some reason.
Okay.
So, there's that.
Yeah, now you sound a lot louder.
Am I
But-
still distorted?
No. But it was
Okay.
just like when you came in, it was very crackly.
Because I went from
And Nugget
57
had-
to 100.
Yeah, and Nugget had the appropriate "oh my gosh" reaction.
You said I'm quiet.
No, because you were quiet, and you found out the reason why you were. It was because when you updated from Windows, I don't know, 11 to 12 or 49 to 87, whatever it is. Because I don't know what Windows is on anymore. But it changed all your settings.
Plot twist, it's Linux.
Bum bum bum. But what kind of Linux?
Ubuntu? I don't know. Mint? What's the most difficult Linux to use that all the nerds are, salivating over now?
I don't know. I haven't paid attention lately. I'm sure it's
Why are they
changed.
salivating over something that's difficult to use?
Pales in comparison. Please leave a long and detailed comment below about what we should be using. And educate. Genuinely. I know this sounds sarcastic, and it might be. You'll never know. But I do desperately want you to educate Monkey Feathers on the benefits of Linux and the evils of Microsoft.
I like how you specifically call me out like I was the one that wanted to know this. I wasn't the one that wanted to know this.
Just saying, of the three of us in this video, you are the one of us who hasn't heard that rant before.
No, I have not. That's very true. I almost feel, is it rant worthy for a comment in a YouTube video?
It will be.
Or is it rant worthy in like a gigantic page long thesis statement that you would turn in for college?
Bonus points, pales in comparison, and anybody else really who wants to participate in this. Make a video and let us know, on your own channel, and just let us know that it's there, and we'll let people see it. We'll check it out. Do you remember when YouTube used to do video responses to people? You could respond to a video. It's early days of YouTube.
I actually don't remember that.
Yeah.
Perhaps probably because I never did that.
Tell you what, make it a YouTube short, and we'll clip it or whatever the thing is they're trying to get us to do now.
Cram this page-long thesis statement into a 1 minute short.
Yeah, stitch. It's like stitching or duetting in from the TikToks, but YouTube Shorts version.
Right.
Or do the long form video and let us know, and we'll clip that. Definitely won't make fun of you in it.
No.
And remember, this isn't sarcasm. Not at all.
Sarcasm.
I don't know how to be sarcastic.
But here's a question then. If Linux is such an interesting operating system to use, why are people salivating over a specific version of it?
Because there's lots of different versions of it.
Well, no,
it's like everything else in life, people have opinions.
Opinions.
Okay. I just think, why do you want something that's so difficult to use?
There's this thing in the world called nerds, and anybody could be a nerd. The thing that most people don't realize about sports and sports fans, they're nerds. They're the biggest nerds you'll ever meet.
They're just a specific nerd.
They're just a specific kind of nerd, and it's true of operating systems as well.
Pretty much.
Most people think it's just Star Wars versus Star Trek.
Are we about to start a nerd war over operating systems in our comment section on this video?
No, that's not what we're trying to do at all. We're trying to start a nerd war over Star Trek versus Star Wars. Or Marvel versus DC. If you could live in one universe, Star Wars or Star Trek, which one would it be? Feathers?
Oh, you're actually asking that as a question?
Genuinely asking. I'm asking the Monkey Fighters. You can comment below as well. Feel free to share your opinions on everything with us below. But specifically for the Monkey Fighters, Star Trek or Star Wars, which world would you want to live in? Which universe would you want to be a part of?
Probably Star Trek.
So Nuggets out for Star Trek. I would say Star Wars, only if I could be a Jedi.
I would say.
Because I wanna be able to control lightsabers and force control things. I'd say Star Wars.
I will say one of you is correct, and one of you is absolutely insane.
That's only because we both labeled one of each. And now
Yes.
if I switched over to Star Trek.
You would be correct if you switched over to Star Trek.
Interesting.
Star Trek is the one of the very few, probably one of the only ones I can think of off the top of my head, of sci-fi worlds where humanity figured their shit out and then made a better existence for everybody. Also, Star Trek is always the answer when it comes to Star Trek or whatever universe you want to live in, because Star Trek has holodecks, which means any universe you want, you're in.
True.
You want to be a Jedi? You can do that in a holodeck. Do you
But
want to
it
be? You want to be a
ideally-
sheep that controls a cult? Done.
But I don't know. That's why it's a strange reality, because in the world of Star Trek, Star Wars doesn't exist. So you couldn't be a Jedi because the concept of being a Jedi does not exist in Star Trek.
But you could come up with that. You can whatever story you want.
Sure, any story you want, but in the world of reality right now, Star Wars does not exist in Star Trek.
Does Star Trek exist in reality?
Star Trek
does, 'cause you can
exist,
watch
but
it.
in the Star Trek universe, other
Yeah.
pop culture from the 20th century does exist.
Does it?
Yeah, they fight with Moriarty in the holodeck, and he comes to life and figures out a way out. I mean, they recreate Shakespeare's plays. They do all those kinds of things. So it's not as far-fetched to believe that other pop culture references that came out, I guess technically the holodeck was Next Generation, which would have been after Star Wars was out, but competing copyright by licensing an IP. So just saying. Was this guy's
I don't know.
name really Heckett, and we didn't make fun of that the whole time?
I don't know if we got to this.
Well, we thought
No,
that,
we
yeah,
did.
no, we did.
We did, because of the tongue.
Yep.
It's been a bit since we've played, so I couldn't remember if we had gotten here.
Yeah. It's just like, is the next guy's gonna be next name gonna be HE double hockey stick? Like literally double hockey stick, not.
Yeah.
I need more hearts.
Yeah.
Yes.
To be honest with you, I was watching everything you were doing up until that point, and it was in one eyeball and out the other.
There is the demon summoning circle thing that you have in your encampment that allows you to bring a follower with you.
That's right. And they can steal hearts or something, right?
It depends on what you choose for them, but
All I remember is somebody said
that was one of them.
we should go up the farming upgrade path. I think that was a bit of feedback we actually did get. Fan feedback.
oh,
Did you
that we
what?
should go up the farming path?
Yes, in fact, let me look that up. Huh, maybe somebody deleted their comment, because I'm not finding it. Or I'm just blind and can't read. Could
That
be
seems kinda specific,
all of the
though.
above.
That just seems very specific in terms of remembering wrong a comment.
I remember, because I had a conversation with someone about it through the comments. Because
Yeah. Was it in chat? Sorry, a live stream chat.
No, it was not. It was comments.
Okay.
Because, yeah, fun fact, not only do I pay attention to chat when I live stream, audience, I do also generally, it's me responding to comments because I jump on them as fast as I can because I can't leave notifications undealt with. But I will respond very quickly to comments on YouTube. So,
Yeah, usually it's Loki, unless in some odd reason or response, me or Nugget responds.
it
Or
usually
if we're
is,
specifically called out.
yes,
then
usually
we
if it's in which
respond.
whoever of us is specifically called out. But then usually Nugget will respond as Nugget, not as Super
Yeah.
Monkey Fighters.
And I respond as the collective Super Monkey Fighters.
I think it's time for someone to get married.
No, you marry them.
You married them? What? They're married to you?
Yeah, they get married to you. That's why Tony the Pony's married to you, is because you do not marry two people to each other. You married them to you. So I'm just throwing that out there.
Rudy Jupe it is.
Aren't you already married to 2 other people
He
at this
is.
point? So this is number
He
3?
is. No, this is number 2.
This is number
he is
2?
Now, he is now part of...
You're a
He
throuple?
has now become the FLDS.
You're a throuple. Mine's a positive way of looking at it. Feathers is the negative way. I mean, to be fair, it's
Mine's
also
the
a
reality.
cult. It's also
Yeah.
a cult, so, you know.
I looked at the reality of the situation.
Here's a question. Is it gaslighting if you believe it yourself? Wasn't that the George Costanza way? Like, it's not a lie if you believe it.
I don't know. Isn't that a way of a lot of the way that the world is built, that we all believe a specific thing, whether it's true or not, we still believe it?
I mean,
I just imagine that's how society is built. We just have enough
'cause
specific people who believe in something.
if we all believed that we could fly, I don't think we'd all start flying.
No, but if the belief is, hey, I believe I can fly, and then people built an airplane to fly, to be able to achieve that idea.
How do I take him? Well, he just
He
automatically
comes with you when you go on the...
he's just that little heart following you around.
Yeah, once you start the dungeon crawl, he'll come with you.
Yes, I'm guessing that this person, whoever this person, mysterious person was. Oh, maybe not. Hold on, let's check this one.
Oh, maybe.
No. I will say one thing about comments, because I did just respond to one while you guys were, doing the practical work in life, being the ants and I'll be the grasshopper, however you want to use that metaphor.
Okay.
The most recent comment that we had that was slightly negative, saying we needed to fix our content without telling us what was broken or how we should improve.
Yeah.
Somebody responded to that and said, "Nah, bro, you're good. Awesome video," I think is what it said.
Notes.
Aw. Thanks, whoever that person
Nah, bro,
was.
you good. Awesome video. Exactly what it said. Bundix. That's one thing that I will say about most of the negative comments that come through, that I don't just, send something snarky back and then ban the person. Usually somebody else jumps in and says something else entirely amazing about it. So, fan base, you are
Yeah.
awesome.
There are moments where you have, I guess, the collective great people who are wanting to be a positive force in the world. And then, of course, you have the trolls who just want to cause more harm and chaos.
Yep. Also, do those dudes have flaming arrows now? Was that a new thing, or was that always a thing?
I think they may have always been like that. There's either the ones with swords or the ones with arrows.
Or were they
Where'd
always
my little
fire?
guy go? Is he already gone?
He's probably
No, he's just hunting for hearts.
Oh.
or he's dead.
No, he hunts for hearts. And he doesn't come back to you unless you need a heart.
Can I change this thing?
You've been the one playing this thing. I've just been here.
Are you talking about changing your demon that's following?
No. It's like some sort of upgrade thing. Whoa.
I was really confused visually by that giant dude. I couldn't tell which way was forward for him. I thought you just walked in and started stabbing like some owl in the back.
It's possible he was doing exactly that.
See, he got you half a heart
Sweet.
that you can't pick up because you're full.
Yep.
Yeah, he's at full.
That's life.
I'll also say, because if I recall what video that's on, let's say.
It's the one that people are saying we need to fix?
Yeah, okay.
It's
It's
Rocket League.
Yeah, it's interesting because as this will already that series will already be out. Those episodes that we recorded for Rocket League, but that whole recording, we played against bots the whole time.
Pretty sure they were all bots.
Yeah.
Also, because
sure.
again, by the time this video comes out, this video will already be out. But there's sections where we play the entire game in reverse. At least 2 of us.
Yeah, because I played goalie just to make sure that we didn't lose, like if the computer got smart enough to score goals on us. So no, I played goalie the whole time while Loki and Nugget played backwards.
We started making our own rules as we a game
We're
within a
getting
game.
bored because we have to get to level 10 before we can play real people.
But we played real people the first time we played Rocket League.
I don't know.
That's why it's really strange, because I thought that we had played real people when we had, not all the time, of course. I'm sure there were bots in there, but yeah, I thought that we had played against real people. And then when we played this recording, it was the same 3 bots that we were playing against. So now hopefully that we've reached level 10, when we play Rocket League again, we'll be able to actually start playing against real people.
Yes, hopefully we play Rocket League again. Or we move on to something else that's more entertaining for everybody. But
we had fun playing it the way that we played it. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just think that we're playing against the computer effectively, so it's not like our amazing goals or our amazing saves or anything like that, I feel have any weight to them, because we played against the computer that's probably on easy mode.
Yep.
So
I mean, it does seem like it was easy mode. I don't think they boosted ever. I think that's...
No. And a lot of the time when we had a head-on goal, they'd veer off to the left or right from the ball and not block it.
Yes.
So.
But now that we're through that bit, eventually, we'll get back to that.
Yeah, but I guess it depends on if people even like Rocket League, like us playing Rocket League.
So far,
we'll find out clearly when those episodes air if people found them funny or entertaining.
So far, that video that we need to fix and also not fix because of opinions, and that's how opinions work. It's our top performing video. So seems like people like the Rocket Leagues.
They find us funny or entertaining.
Or good and awesome.
So neat.
Or they're just bored and have nothing better to watch because we need to fix our content, bro.
I'm just gonna say, also, if you're gonna judge us based off of our Rocket League gameplay, you should maybe give some of our other content a chance as well.
Maybe they did, and that's why they were commenting on that one latest video.
I don't know. Could be. It could be. I would repeat the person's name, but you know how YouTube allows that as a username, but if I said it in a video, I would get demonetized. So
just like that.
I'm not going to say
Even
that
though
name.
we've already discussed the way that YouTube demonetizes videos is incredibly strange.
Very strange.
Because a spaghetti cake conversation is
Got
too
demonetized
controversial.
for violence.
Was it violence that
It
it
was
got?
violence.
Oh, I thought it was
I believe-
controversial.
I believe that one was violence. Let me look. Spaghetti cake. Manually reviewed for violence. Yep.
Okay, maybe it's
And to be fair,
the intent to start violence.
It was Orcs Must Die, and we were killing a bunch of, cartoon animated orcs in a video game. So clearly harmful violence.
Harmful. It's also possible it's the intent to start violence because your opinion's too controversial. It's going to start
It's
full-on wars.
inciting a riot.
Yes. It's too controversial.
It's funny because there was always talk about like animated violence and video game violence and those kinds of things, and like Looney Tunes. I mean, it was a big thing with The Simpsons, right? With Itchy and Scratchy, where making kids violent and murderous or whatever. I think that was an episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, of course.
40 years ago. It dawned on me in like Jackass 2 or 3. There's a scene where Johnny Knoxville is trying to ride a rocket. They're going to blast off this rocket off into a lake.
Yeah.
That is from Looney Tunes. That is where they got that bit from. So it's kind of like, it's not quite real life, right? It's art imitating art sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But it's still like, yeah, okay, maybe I could see a little bit, But also, they're trying to create content as well. So, just strange. I just thought it was funny. So,
But that is true.
but also by the same
You
token,
look back at
if you're a kid who really likes Mary Poppins, are you going to jump off your roof with an umbrella?
some did. But that's a true statement. You look back at older cartoons,
It's a lot of wood.
whether it's Tom and Jerry, the Looney Tunes, things like that. I'm pretty sure that no one looked at those cartoons and thought, this is so violent, or this is going to be something that people imitate in real life. You just looked at it as like a fun,
Or it's because the animators
entertaining
were really
cartoon, I guess.
small animals that were attacked repeatedly. So they also created that art based off of their real life.
real life experiences. Art imitates life,
Do you have enough
or life
hearts?
imitates art.
No.
No.
Like, I need just more in general. Like, be able to hold more.
I don't know how you do that.
I don't either. Maybe I need
I think
to
it's
be a farmer.
cards.
Or maybe
I think
just
there are specific cards that come up in the deck when you see that tarot reader, that it'll give you like an extra heart during your dungeon run.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the blue ones, but I mean, just
Well,
like
I'm
overall, I just need more red hearts.
here's an alternate point of view. I'm not saying anybody's right. I'm not saying anybody's wrong. Maybe if you got hit less, it wouldn't matter how many hearts you had.
I'm not disputing that.
Just saying. There's multiple approaches to that. Either you have a high constitution or you have a high armor class.
Feel like I have neither.
Yes, you've got low on all of them.
yeah.
Have you already
Apparently
met
it says
this chump before?
Yeah.
oh, that chump. Apparently it says you cannot raise the base amount of hearts you have. You can get temporary ones while in dungeons, and that just comes from the tarot cards, which you already know.
And you can't increase the base at all, is what it said.
No. But
It
certain
seems like you
cards that
have, though. Have you always had 4 then? Doesn't seem right.
Remember.
Let me consult the oracle really quick.
it says the best card that you can get is a hearts level 3, which gives you 2 extra temporary hearts for your dungeon run. So consulting the oracle.
I am consulting the oracle. The problem is
Is she going to give you a
most-
prophecy like
I
she
was
gave Neo?
Just thinking most of our gameplay it's back at the cults doing culty things. Yeah, always 4. All right.
Yeah, unless it was a card that came up in the deck where I think the max we ever got was a 1 heart from the deck. But
I won't dispute it because I got no legs to stand on when it comes to remembering things.
we also record a lot of different content, so it's hard to remember exactly. Because case in point, you just now, hey, what was that conversation about that farm thing?
Oh yeah, it definitely happened. It was a real thing.
I won't dispute that, because it's always possible. I just wonder if it happened during a streaming session. Like, it just offhandedly came up, and you made a comment, they made a comment, you made one back, and that's how your conversation happened. But It's hard to know.
In fact, it was probably on a short.
Got a blue heart.
Would it have been on TikTok?
Maybe?
Because yeah, we do post some things to TikTok.
Could have been on
for anyone
TikTok,
who
could have been on
doesn't know that.
Instagram. I mean,
I just wonder if it had, because we've posted some things Cult of the Lamb related on those different channels, that it's possible it could have been on one of those.
you know, a lot of people liking our videos on there. I'm not seeing a lot of comments in the thing. Oh, yep, it was that. It was on. See, I did have this conversation with somebody, not on a live stream. User 7093453382703.
And it was on which?
It was on
Was it TikTok or Instagram?
It was on TikTok. It was a TikTok. The Milo Bonobus. It's the Circle of Cults is the name of it, if you want to go and look it up.
Okay. So if that was, but then what was the full conversation that you had?
You know, there was lots of words in it.
Well, if you're looking at it right now, you can always share it right now.
So he also sacrifices cult members and brings them back from the dead like we've done.
Right, okay.
The farm route's the quickest, the scarecrow to keep crows away, then farm level 2 lets you make them farm for you. Hope this helps.
Oh yeah, okay. I mean, that is helpful.
Just saying. User
I'm-
series of numbers is very helpful. Thank you.
Yes.
Because you'll
It's
definitely see this
constructive
video
feedback.
as well. What the bugs? Also, speaking of, because you mentioned Hades like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, something like that.
Yeah.
Hades 2 just got announced a couple of weeks ago, I think,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
But doesn't that kind of end in a place where you don't need a sequel?
I think it's a bunch of new characters just kind of doing the same thing-ish, sort of. I don't know. I mean, did they really need a Die Hard 2 and 3 and 4 and 5? The answer is no. They only needed Die Hard 1 and 3. But we got all the rest as well.
We got all the rest. This is a hard boss. It kind of sucks that that tongue move is a one-hit wonder.
Oh, wait, those buildings give you juice?
Yeah, the upgraded ones.
That's why he
Except
chose
they
it.
can't
And
do
now
that.
you
I'm sure you were there. I'm sure I agreed. I'm sure I thought it was a
will
fantastic
you
idea.
select a farm plot? Like as if you're gonna build it? Like actually look like you're about to build it. So go into it and select it. Will you hover over another farm plot? Oh, it doesn't say. It's strange because it actually there's a option that says you can remove buildings. There's an option that you can remove buildings. So I was wondering if
Probably something in there
if
that's
it's
like
a specific building that you can remove, or
remove
if
building. I don't know.
yeah, because it says to remove or destroy a building, all you need to do is head to the construction building and open the menu. From here, you should see an option at the bottom called Edit Buildings. So maybe it's that. So go back into your build plot thing.
The
Go
bottom.
press X on your controller or whatever it is. And now you can move things. So yeah, you can remove farm plots. So now this is how you can do it. You can change the layout of whatever you have. If you so desire, this is what you could do.
It didn't move
He's just gonna stay in there.
the.
So this is how you could do it.
It looks
you can,
like the farm.
there were some that were
We're already
outside of
going
it
off.
when we started. Yeah.
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 It's well, I guess it's. I moved this. There. And this one over here.
Add in those ones there. and they can get auto.
Move these ones because I don't do anything with these.
It's a good idea. I didn't know those ones existed.
Yeah. These were from the first iteration of us playing. But yeah, so that's how you can do it, is you can...
Look at that. Feathers looking up how to play a game.
I often do look up how to play a game.
Usually.
I think I'm the one that tends to be the looker-upper.
He's stuck. Educate.
He was trying to
now
escape.
he's fixed.
You gotta teach one of them how to clean up the poo for you.
No.
Isn't it an upgraded janitor station, or is it a poo silo or something?
Just think you gotta start cracking the whip. You're too nice of a cult leader. To be fair, if I joined a cult and they just started yelling at me to do chores, I'd be like, I'm gonna just go home.
I'm not gonna deal with this right now. You do have one divine inspiration. So what in the farm in the farm path? What are the buildings? So go up to go up and to the fertilizer silo. What is this?
It's just a place where you can.
So for your followers to use...
So you still have to put the poo in the thing, and then they'll just go and you fertilize for you.
I was wondering if...
There's the janitor station.
Give your followers somewhere higher
It's a higher capacity, yeah.
But I did like the janitor station. I was hoping that...
Right there. Left.
Yeah.
Clean up their own
But
mess.
But that's just if they, like, vomit. If something doesn't agree with them or something, they'll clean it up.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but, from what people are saying, it doesn't look like you can have your followers collect poo.
They'll eat poo, but they won't pick it up.
And so that's something that's funny. There's a comment that says, I seem to it's talking about the issue with the outhouses and people having emptied out themselves. But it says, seeing as some of the followers like to eat poop, maybe that's why they didn't turn it on. So that your followers wouldn't just be going to the box and eat.
At least they wouldn't need food then, right?
They wouldn't need food, but you brought that up and I'm like, you were on the same page as this person who wrote this statement.
Whoever wrote that statement, you got a good brain.
You were on the same mind as Loki. But yeah, it looks like the only way that someone could potentially do anything with the poo is the poo silo, which would be just them putting it on the crops, which you already have.
You've got to still...
But you would still have to empty it out from the outhouse and put it into the silo box, and then they would use that.
You can't put, like, the outhouse on the silo box.
No.
It just self-fills.
And even the janitor station, which you think logically would be what allows you to have a follower clean out the outhouse, it still doesn't do it. But.
What if you got rid of the outhouse, just let them poop in the woods, and then they'll pick it up at the janitor station and put it in the silo? Is that...
I almost wonder if that's a way to get around it. Turd burglar has reached old age. But I actually think this is a good place to call it.
He's burgled his last turd. Start of a new day. We wrap the episode with an old turd burglar and an outhouse we gotta clean out ourselves.
Talk to Fish Nose. Is this Fish Nose? There we go.
It is Fish Nose. Look at you remembering your followers.
Fish Nose has a ring in their nose. Yeah, so there's that. I don't know what that quest was, but we completed it.
We talked to Farty Shardy, or Shardy Farty. I can't remember which one.
And did something with them?
Because he was like a spy from another cult.
Really?
And then I don't think he said anything. He just went to bed. And then I talked to Fish Nose.
All right.
That is the appropriate response. I'm not a spy. I'm gonna go to bed.
I would just, if you confronted me and asked me if I was a spy, I would be honest. That's in my nature. So, on that revelation,
There you have it.
catch you guys in the next one.